Hey people of the interwebs, it is Q back with another scuba diving adventure, and today's adventure is a little bit different. For people who play League of Legends, an online computer game, you'll probably know of a character called Nautilus. Well, today I'm going to go scuba diving in search of Nautilus. He is a statue that's been dropped into the water somewhere in the Moreton Bay area at a dive site called Curtin Reef, along with a lot of other wrecks of car bodies, boats and pontoons. So a bit of a different dive. I've never dived this site myself, so it's going to be a total adventure for me today, and we'll see how things work out. It's 6:15 in the morning and it's 11 degrees and the moon is in the sky. It's 8 a.m. and we're just about to exit over the Caloundra bar, and it's the flattest I've ever seen it. This could be the smoothest bar passage ever. A little bit overcast today, so I'm not sure what the visibility of water clarity is going to be like. Guess we'll find out when we get there. So we've arrived on site. There are no markers, no buoys, just a set of GPS codes that we're working off that we got from the internet. No way of knowing as we look down into the water whether there's anything underneath us or not. We will gear up once we drop the anchor, drop down and see what we can see. We may be on top of it, we may be not. Because we had 6 people on a boat, I decided to gear up and drop over first and head down the anchor line to allow more space for everybody else to gear up. So as I headed down the anchor line, I could see nothing. Literally, I was looking 2 meters or approximately 6 feet in front of me. There was just blueness all around me. And I'm thinking, how far down is this? I know that the max depth at Curtin Reef is meant to be 28 meters, but it just seemed to go on forever. Then eventually I did reach the bottom and I dropped into 21.8 meters, which is 72 feet. The water temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, which is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And basically what I did was I took a quick look around, I looked at the anchor chain, and the anchor was actually being dragged through the sand. I couldn't see any structures, any dark shapes in the distance, and so I decided to head back up the anchor line and just basically let everybody know that there was nothing down there. The line was dragging, the anchor was dragging, and there was no point in going on a dive and having a look around in the general area to see if we could see anything. Because if you actually do find something and you're down there for an hour and the anchor's dragging, your boat is not going to be where you expect it to be when you finish your dive. So everyone packed up and we headed off to Flinders Reef. I dropped into 11.8 meters of water, which is 38.5 feet. The water was a little bit warmer here at 22 degrees, 71.5 Fahrenheit. And the first thing we encountered was a Mantis Shrimp. These things are really fascinating. If you put them into an aquarium, for example, they've got such a hard punch with their little claw, they can actually smash the glass of the aquarium and break out. As we moved away from that guy, Mick spotted this medium-sized turtle underneath an overhang. And I also found out that the female turtles have a small tail and the male turtles have a longer tail. As we turned around and headed away from the turtle, Mick broke to the left of this little coral formation and I went to the right-hand side of it. But Mick actually disturbs a Wobbegong shark and it comes over the top of the coral formation and then just rushes right underneath me. It was quite startling. But fortunately, these things are not harmful to humans. They eat crustaceans and crabs and things like that. Crinoids, feather stars. There were lots of these things out and they were feeding like crazy. I'm just fascinated by these things because these things date back 540 to 250 million years ago. These things were around then and they pretty much haven't changed their basic structure since then. But the colours are amazing. They go from this black into this sort of like greenish tints and shades and day glow stuff. And then you get these white ones with the yellow tint. Just as I was heading back, I saw this white one, which was so luminous it was almost hurting the eyes. Fantastic creatures, love them. These things, of course, best seen at night when they're feeding. I pointed out to my dive buddy that I was low on air and said, hey, you stay with the rest of the group, I'm going to head back to the boat. On the way back to the boat, I spotted this little lady. She was just, I don't know, maybe a meter long, again, 3 feet. She didn't seem to take too kindly to me disturbing her peace, so she wandered off into the distance. As I said, I was low on air, so I did my 3-minute safety stop at 5 meters and then hit the surface and found myself quite away from the boat, but a short surface swim, aided by the way the current was flowing, got me back to the boat safely. When everybody else had got back on the boat, we decided to head off home, and we encountered this pod of whales. Regulations say that we can't come within 100 meters of the pod of whales. However, if the whales approach your boat, that's a different story. So we shadowed this pod for quite some time. I'm not sure exactly how many there were, but I would say there was at least half a dozen, maybe a bit more. The only problem with the GoPro, of course, is there's no zoom capacity, so at 100 meters distance, we weren't getting too much good close-up footage. But then there was a lone whale who was following the rest of the pod, and he got a bit closer to our boat, so we got some really decent footage of this guy. Tail slapping, breaking the surface. I love these creatures. To think that they're mammals just like us, it just is so fascinating.
Yeah, he's moving.
And a final tail slap before we headed off home. It was quite a late return back to the coast. I think it was 5 o'clock when we finally docked. But it was a fantastic day with lots to see and lots of good company. If you've enjoyed what you see today, please leave a like and subscribe to see future scuba diving adventures with Q. And of course, if you've got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. And when I see them, I'll reply to you. Thanks for watching.